If I remember correctly, welcome back everyone. Still in the same room that we were in before. Whoops, okay. The collar, the neck, the noose. 2 cups of flour, 1 cup of water, a pinch of salt, a handful of mint, a bay leaf, a herb, a skeleton key for the nursery, and a mixing will go together. Weird.
I have such visions to share with thee. If my jaw be unshackled, and you harvest the crust from my eyes, make me clean, madness, that my thoughts and words can unfouled be.
I forgot what I was gonna say before, which is normal, I guess, for me at this point. What the hell's going on in the background? May 1st, 1899. But then, what if they could stand upright and walk as men? What if the brute were harnessed? Oh, sorry. What if the brute were harnessed thus? Would they sing? Would they find their own bed? God? That's his God. I have seen those things, and I will tell you now, no, they will not. But they will happily accept fealty to a God thrust upon them, and worship it thus given. In this, I realized they are no different to the masses. They are much the same as us. Based? Once this irrevocable threshold is passed, I understand that we too are shackled, and must be set free. To free the man, we cut the man. In order to cross that great evolutionary line, it must first be painted upon the ground. Paint the man, cut the lines. Paint the man, cut the lines. I didn't do anything. Nah, nah, nah. Please stop. Whoa. Okay. I really hope that there aren't like licensed music in this game. In America, they talk of building their cities to the skies. To me, this seems folly, but perhaps it is simply a case of a nation founded without a history of its own. Well, I mean, if you ignored the fact that indigenous people were there first, but yeah, okay. We walk upon our histories. They are compacted into the very loam beneath our feet. The engineers we employed talked of this. They talked of how, when building the underground trains, they would often come across older tunnels crisscrossing the capital. What palaces lie buried beneath us? We are digging, excavating, and reappropriating what we find. At the center of the planet, my architect tells me, there is a great iron hall. It is the egg of the world. Nice. October 11th, 1899. We integrate the very latest knowledge of chemistry, using low levels of laudanum derivative in feed to subdue the product even before the initiation of the process. This means that when we drag them from holding pens onto the line, they are less likely to panic and damage machine components, other products, or themselves. This section of the belt is sheathed in rubber and kept well lit to maintain good spirits, and we have actually found that the intelligent placement of gramophones and simple acoustic amplification tubes around the line means we can use music to further soothe the product. We find Debussy particularly effective in this regard. You're gonna blast Claire de Lune through all this shit? I didn't realize I was playing The Evil Within. Fuck, maybe that's another game I could play on the channel. No, 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 no. I am not. Don't talk like that, Pluto. Don't. Don't do that. You're not even done. You're not even done the Resident Evil 4 for fuck's sake. Oh, there's a little piggy. Little piggy pog. Okay. Sorry about that. Just having my fun. You're leaving your diary pages just like all over the gaff, dude? What's wrong with you? So, I mean, there's a lot wrong. I'm going to be asking that of Mandus a lot of the time, I think. September 28th, 1899. Imagine, they say, a machine one day that might think like a man, as if this is to be desired. One might also boast of creating a man who breathes like a pig. Men and women upon all fours, rutting carelessly, ejaculating their filthy little missives into the streets. Alleys and gutters running freely with the careless spill of their conjoinings, the air thick with the whimperings of lust, bodies streaked with their own emissions. We have created a world where man is so utterly debased he will spray his seed over passers-by, and yet this is the condition Babbage aspired to. Okay. I'm just, like, making an observation here. I promise you, there are people out there who, like, unironically desire most of what you just listed. Because people are fucking weird. So, just putting that out there. No, this is not the machine we seek. Such an entity should be nothing less than a deity, and we would fall upon our knees and worship it. We shall not carve gods to bicker and fornicate. They will exist to clean the world and set us free. I reject Babbage as I reject these men of government. Let the pigs copulate in the gutters whilst they can. We shall scoop them up and ease their ascension soon enough. What this game does, you'll find, if you haven't already picked up on it, one of the most prominent underlying themes in the game is nihilism. Like, the belief that life, as we know it as humans, does not have an inherent value. And a lot of people, especially religious people, they hear that and their mind jumps to like they think that nihilism is synonymous with pessimism, and that really is not. Here we go. Maybe I can. That's not really the case. I like how they programmed like wind blowing in through the doors if they're open, even though doors this big shouldn't leave like a draft sound like that. Like, you could be an optimistic nihilist, like, which would be believing that a universe without a god does not care about its people, but you believe in people who do care about other people. And so you'll find out that, well, you may already be able to piece together what it was that Oswald has done before he got Amnesia title card.
Come on,
Has a
Papa.
lot to do
Let's
with
climb this one. I can see more pictures at the top.
has a lot to do with the nihilistic worldview that he had held. Well, not just nihilistic, but a pessimistic nihilistic view that he held, seemingly after his... I was gonna say his father, after his wife had died. Okay, we're just gonna fuel this. Fueling pumps, volatile chemicals are in use. These materials are highly corrosive. Wear protection. If I remember correctly, shit, pick it up, pick it up. Is this a fuel tank or a battery? I'm not reading his journal entries because I'm kind of... shit. Kind of on a roll here. There we go. Okay. I knew I had to move one of the vehicles at some point. How in blazes are we supposed to meet these damned schedules if even the basic equipment we are provided with simply will not perform its designated function? These cursed newfangled trucks will only run a fraction of the distance my old nag managed before running out of stinking gasoline. The gaffer says it's fine, and there's plenty of pumps to refill them outside the factory walls. But you end up dragging a blessed tank from the truck to the nearest one to refill it, and the one in the storeroom is empty again. I can't be turning that crank handle all day, only to find the tank is empty. Well, sod it, says I. Enough for a night, and to my bed I go. That ended up being a bit of a Southern American accent. It's not like anyone needs access to the bleeding graveyard anyway. Harry, if you get this, I'll meet you in the Damson Templar for a jar. That was the most British note I've ever read in my life. Does that say Damson Templar? Okay. The font is kind of tough to tell. It's tough to read my tiny ass TV in my room. But shit. Was that it? Oh. Okay, well, let's look at the notes that... Jesus. Was it a trick? That voice on the phone who seems so close to my own, who seems to know me so well. Does he lead me for a nefarious purpose of his own secret devising? But do I have a choice? Even though his motives are unknown to me, I must find my boys. I will follow the machinery down to the very core of the earth, if it will lead me to Edwin and Enoch. Intriguing. The saboteur has been this way. The gates are far too heavy for a man to lift, and are instead hoisted aloft by a chain coiled about a tube that appears to be spun by motors connected to these electrical switches. Whilst the fuse is blown, the motor cannot be spun, and the gates will remain as impenetrable barrier to progress. An impenetrable barrier to progress. More electrical sabotage. Another confounded fuse box. The fellow was thorough in his sabotage, if somewhat repetitive. The stench from these barrels is quite discomforting. I would certainly hope that whatever chemistry this room is designed to store is not a defining feature of the flood that threatens my children. The path is clear. It seems this chemical processor is merely one part of a much larger complex. No easy route for me, then. I will follow my fever, the calls of my children wherever they may lead me, as I move further into this strange empire. The factory offices. All the suggestions of a large workforce, yet no actual signs of life. It is every bit as if someone has attempted to carefully create the illusion of a working factory complex, yet this facade, when examined closely, is clearly just a falsification. But I must put aside my anxieties, quell the unease that pits my stomach, and continue on my path. This fucking game is a great reading exercise. I should probably stop swearing so much. I imagine it's kind of jarring to just hear that after reading notes like this, but it appears okay, pumping station. It appears to be some kind of fueling station. I have seen automobiles demonstrated at Mr. Yaram and Mr. Simmons' works. But the smell here is all wrong. This is not petroleum, of that I am sure. Everything suggests to me that this machine must be significant in some way. A strange container. This canister looks as if it may fit the fuel pump I saw earlier. It certainly carries the same fetid, unholy reek. I will not think of that which I saw pass me in its cage. I will not gaze again into that dark machine room. A more immediate task presents itself, and the opportunity perhaps to gain access to St. Dunstan's. A fast getaway. Dear sweet Lord of all that is good and holy, I must make my escape, grasp this container and its putrid contents, and flee this place before that creature, that nearly man, returns. I will head for the church. Surely such an abomination cannot follow onto hallowed ground. And you write all this, like, as this is happening? Holy orders. This church is connected to the plant. How odd. However, it does suggest another route into the main part of the facility, given the locked doors around the fueling station. The truck blocks my way, however, almost as if the saboteur knew that I might consider this alternative entrance. Huh. Here we go.
This way, Papa. Come and see. Will it hatch? Can we take it home?
Yes, my darlings. Of course we can take it home.
I like how the characters like Oswald here does not have like massive clunky boots that stomp on the ground whenever he runs. It's nice. Yeah, let's go in there. Let's go. Yay. Livestock and Bibles. Lily dancing. Lily dancing on the table, her eyes aflame. This love burnt into his heart scarred from the heat of this love, of his love dancing.
Your faith shackles your vision, Professor. It is an iron coffin that keeps you from grasping the future. We require a new deity, one of steam and the wheel, of magnetism and progress. The old god is nothing more than a lamed hog, spitting back offal at mankind.
I'd like to see the dude's reaction to that. But, Here we go. November 23rd, 1899. Twin candles bent to the will of the central saint, casting their light to the corners of the chapel. Father Jeremiah, I thought, could be trusted with the secret, but he is like all of the others. So the old priest has gone to the holding pens with his flock. He says he will enter into our world with them. A shepherd indeed. Oh god. Yeah, whoops, it's locked now. Or is that where I came from? That must be where I came from. It's here I'm thinking of. Yeah, the notes I understand, are very vague, but, it's gonna make sense. Wow. That was music. Hopefully it wasn't like censored because it's like copyrighted or something. Because that happens sometimes. I know there's games like Mafia or Grand Theft Auto where if you're recording something, the songs that show up on the radio don't actually show up in recording. Father Jeremiah's journal, October 1st, 1899. They flock to us now, where once I had to walk among them, to bring salvation into their lives. Now, drawn by warmth in winter, by the food that Mandus distributes, my church is full and my charges are saved. Charges? He walks amongst them, and they almost worship him. He will not allow them to work in his factories, claiming that his workforce are specially trained for the new machinery he uses, and that it would be irresponsible, nay, unethical, to risk such precious lives as he sees here. A changed man since Mexico. It is to be praised that in the face of such appalling tragedy, and from the confines of his sickbed, as he is often chained to, he conducts one of the greatest and most benevolent charities in all of London. Not content with the rise to become the dominant food produce business in the land, he distributes his goodwill, his fares, to the poor, and they congregate about his kingdom in gratitude. Well, I wonder if that's actually gonna pan out so well. It probably won't. I think you can already tell that that's not exactly what's going on here with our Mandy boy over here. Wait, I just figured this out. Is his name Oswald Mandus? As like a riff on Ozymandias? Isn't Ozymandias like this old, like Greek philosopher or like expeditionist or something? Like, huh. here we go. That's where I need the second candle. That's not even. Like, that's not... Oh, that looks weird. We sat here. I remember we sat in our black and we mourned and we prayed and we bowed our heads. How I hated God then, how I spurned him. If this is our Lord, this pig who robs me of my wife, then I refute his embrace. I will carve a new God for us all. Such madness, such a fool I was. If such blasphemous ravings had remained within me, I would be doomed. But even here, I feel the machine throb beneath the flags, and I know my path awaits me. Sounds like Oswald is remembering what he did a little bit more. The engine fires, the flames are stoked. I hear steam in the walls, vibrations upon the very air. My heart falters at the prospect of throwing the lever and exposing the workings of this dark contraption. But my children beckon me on, and I cannot fail them. Like, I would be much more interested in actually hearing Oswald monologue all of his journal entries instead of me having to read them. Like, as I play, I don't have to, like, break... Like, look, now I have to break what little gameplay this game has to, like, go out of my way and read, like a poem that he's written or something. It's like, if he said all this, that'd actually be pretty, like... That'd be much more captivating. Even if you think my reading is good. A hellish portal. It appears I have no choice. Thus I descend, and may God have mercy upon my soul. If this is my bedlam, and I am to be cast as Matthews, then I will wear that mantle for the sake of my boys, and face whatever burrows other horrors lie beneath the altar. We got just enough time to see what horrors may, in fact, be down here.
Listen, Papa. Hold the egg to your ear. You can hear the sea.
These final thoughts. What exhumation is this? What rotten fruit? What bestitching of parts? I doubt I will ever be found, yet I leave you this, scrawled in the malodorous half-light, whilst my tormentor shuffles below, my fellow prisoners keen and squeal in the gloam, and where I wait for the knocking upon my cage that signifies it is, finally, my turn to make that dark journey into the interior. I was gonna say something. The acquisitions.
Med helst rotella, med äldste rådste
you seriously put a fucking... Well, that's our first encounter. Kind of. And so to the stoking. The workers sing as they work. They sing as they eat. They sing as they make toilet. They are always singing. If you place your ear to the ground, you can hear them still. Well, that's what I was gonna say. I was talking about Grand Theft Auto, and and songs being censored by the game if you are recording something. And I was meaning to just comment that GTA 6, as mythological as it is in modern times, is a reality. GTA 6 has a trailer and everything. Which, you know, I don't think people should feel this way about most products, if any products. Yet I will say that in the case of an exception like GTA 6 and others like it, I think I feel entitled to witness the technical marvel that game will be. And I say that thinking of Red Dead Redemption 2, because that game is really, really good because Rockstar spent the time and the money making it good. If GTA 6 is a fraction of the quality that Red Dead 2 is, and I think if Red Dead 2 is any indicator, that GTA 6 will be probably the best game that Rockstar will have ever made. That maybe that's presumptuous and just giving them way too much credit when we haven't even seen the game, but it's like, I'm critical of a whole bunch of stuff.
Always the water and the sparks and the embers of the wheels. It's too bony. It's too damn bony.
Toe Zamboni. I consider myself very critical of most things when I want to be, but when it comes to entertainment media, I'm very selective about what I am very much in control of and selective towards what it is I'm critical of when it comes to entertainment media. Like, Far Cry 6 is a great example. So, Far Cry, like every other Ubisoft franchise, is like a great example of the absolute pinnacle of mediocrity. Like most things Ubisoft makes, Far Cry 6, I don't think does anything original, doesn't do anything unique. It doesn't do so many things that are like worth of note. And yet, I think Far Cry 6, by a small margin, not, you know, infinitesimally small, but still notably small margin, I think Far Cry 6 is my favorite Far Cry game. I think I had the most fun playing Far Cry 6. I had more fun playing Far Cry 6 than I did the other Far Cry games that I remember.
These men, Professor, these so-called men of vision, they would shackle the masses to a wheel and turn it till their backs break. All for that opiate, the lure of profit. These fools who lackey them, these priests, these officials, this government, they make pigs of us all.
But What solution, my dear man? How to break a cycle? You cannot simply remove the promise of a better world for these unfortunates. In the workhouses, in the orphanages, the belief in heaven is surely the only succor one can find. We do not need to wait. We can bring forth paradise now. We can speed the passion. With only a small sacrifice, we can hold the apocalypse. With just a small sacrifice, we can free our shackles and deliver them to paradise now.
Yeah, I think coming across... Oh, shit. I think coming across the story of this game once again, after years... Like, I haven't played this game in, like, 5 years? 6 years, maybe? It's, like, half a decade. Better half of a decade. Have I not played this game? But it'll be nice to experience the story over again and have new insights as an adult, because I have a few things to... It's always something to talk about, but whatever new hell that I've just walked in on here with new filters and everything, like new visual filters, I will leave that for next episode, when I next see you.